Okay, so let's have a rundown of everything that's going on with Tekashi 6ix9ine to sum it all up, because all the pieces kind of come together at the end of the week, okay? So he's been promoting Dummy Boy for a couple months now, and here's a timeline of everything that's going on. And just a quick note before we get into it, I don't know who downloaded Dummy Boy, but I saw it for sale last night on Tekashi 6ix9ine's website for a few hours. So somebody has it, and it's probably going to leak now. They might as well just put it out tomorrow because it's going to be all over the internet soon. Somebody made a mistake at that label. I know Murder Beats threatened to leak it as a joke, but it actually got leaked. So he's going to have an issue now. I don't know. But anyways, 2018, the rise and fall of Tekashi 6ix9ine, which is sad. I'm not championing him going to jail at all. I wish he just could stayed out here and kept winning, but unfortunately, it's the people he surrounded himself with. So when he came out with Gummo and everything in the beginning, you saw Billy Otto with him and different people with him for a few months until he started making a lot more money, okay? Then you saw an introduction of a guy named Shotty and everything. And, you know, Shotty and Billy Otto were friends and met Tekashi 6ix9ine together. But this guy, Shotty, you started seeing him in videos with Tekashi 6ix9ine around the time South by Southwest. He was kind of representing him. It was right around the time at the the first Breakfast Club interview. And, you know, he repped Treyway, which was a part of, I guess, Trey Gangsta Bloods or something. Mel Matrix, I guess, is a part of that. But who used to be down with Jim Jones. And as time went on, you know, you saw him have beefs with, you know, Jay Prince's son. He had, because of some altercation in Houston where he wasn't allowed inside of a party. You saw a beef happen with him and Chief Keef because of Tato. Tato's relationship with Cuban Doll and Tekashi stepping up for Cuban Doll, which erupted into a problem with Chief Keef. You saw the earliest one, you saw him going to LA and disrespecting people in LA and having to, you know, dodge people in LA. But he always successfully dodged all these major beefs. Then he had beef with Chicago, and he went to Chicago and showed he could go to Chicago, and he went to Chief Keef's hood because this is right after he had the beef with Chief Keef. Yeah, these are all the beefs he was having. Amongst all that, he was having a beef with Casanova around this time, and around that time he had a altercation at the Barclays Center, okay? In mix with, these all happened stacked on top of each other, so I'm just going through all the little problems he had. When he had a beef with the Jay Prince artists at the airport in LA when he was leaving LA, that trickled into an altercation at the This Is 50 building when allegedly these guys got caught slipping by the crew, okay? These are all mentioned in the indictment, okay? The Chief Keef stuff isn't, but mainly the Barclays Center one was, and the This Is 50 building, because those both happened not in Manhattan. See, Barclays is downtown Brooklyn, which is almost like Manhattan now. It's basically Manhattan. When they built that, they forced everybody out. They tried to make it like Manhattan, downtown Brooklyn. Then you got the other, This Is 50 building is in Manhattan, so they take those more seriously when situations happen there. Okay, so most recently, most recently he was on tour in Europe, and while he was on tour in Europe and he was in Dubai, obviously the Fed started, you know, investigating. They searched his house. They found weapons in his house, okay? But nothing ever happened to him with that. Even before that trip to Europe, he had another trip to Europe, and when he came back, he got arrested for a probation violation, but they let him go again, okay? They kept letting him go on everything, okay? When they keep letting you go on things, and you don't have any penalties, really, it's usually a Fed case, okay? I've seen this I've lived long enough to see this with enough people. I've known people, you know, it's just like, when it seems like people are getting away with everything, it's usually a federal case because they want to keep you out there and get more intel, okay? So then you got Tekashi 6ix9ine fired his whole team around a couple weeks ago, like a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago. Fired everybody and canceled the tour because he believed people were stealing from him. And also, he probably felt the heat coming from the whole Treyway affiliation. Then he went on the Breakfast Club, and he called out his former managers, former team, Shoddy, Trey. He said Treyway. He made Treyway. He called out a booking agency. Everything. Okay. Then he basically said that they stole $2.5 million from everybody. The booking agency, Shoddy, everything. Okay. Then he gets arrested on the RICO charges. He's indicted. He has a possible life sentence, which probably wouldn't happen. But, racketeering conspiracy is one of the charges. Carrying a firearm, possessing a firearm, and then also criminal violence around the Barclays Center, where a firearm was discharged. 2 counts of violent crimes, racketeering from April. This is around the J. Prince artist thing, the Rap-A-Lot artist. It has nothing to do with J. Prince. It's really these artists, okay? Then using and carrying a firearm, possessing a firearm with crime violence and brandished. So I think this was another incident that happened. Then 1 violent crime of racketeering stemming from incident in July. Okay. That was the one that happened in Brooklyn, I think. So then we see, so the 9 Trey Bloods versus back. So they're charging him from back to 2013, which he probably wasn't affiliated with them by then. Okay. Billy Otto spoke out, one of his original friends who brought Shoddy around. He, regretted that Tekashi is now in trouble, even though Tekashi has done him wrong, he said. And he said, I warned him about Shoddy. Shoddy wasn't a stand-up person before we met Tekashi. He says that in his Instagram post. I have a video on that. Okay, so then we got him. He's denied bail. They said he was placed in general population, which they say was a safer place for him because it's in federal. When you go into isolation, it means you're snitching, and it's probably even worse. But then they pushed Dummy Boy back, which actually got leaked last night by accident by the label. And they read the statement, due to circumstances beyond our control, we have postponed the release of Tekashi 6ix9ine's Dummy Boy until further notice. Then 6ix9ine's lawyer denies any gang affiliation, say it was all an act to sell albums. He was acting as a role, just like kind of Rick Ross does when he's rapping, because he's really rapping about Freeway Ricky Ross's life, the real Rick Ross, who actually did a lot of stuff in LA in the 90s. That's where he got his name from. Rick Ross is just a great rapper, so you're able to look past all that. Then they transferred 6ix9ine to security reasons to a prison where they say usually people are cooperating. Also, they have dirty cops in this prison and pedos, okay? So that's where it stands now. Now, what's coming up this week is he has a bail hearing again. They had postponed this bail hearing from last week to this week to probably, it was probably smart to do that too because Thanksgiving was coming up, right? So judges, everybody's going to try to rush it out, and they'll probably deny it right away. Coming back fresh from vacation, they'll tackle it, and then they'll probably have more of an argument this week that Tekashi 6ix9ine should get released. They'll probably have to put up all of his money, passports, everything to show he's not going to run and doesn't have the means to run. But they'll probably have stipulations where he can't release an album. He can't promote, he couldn't go on social media. And this is why I think they should have released this album this week, because he could have raised money to pay for his legal fees, because it's going to cost him millions of dollars to defend himself in this case. We'll have to see, but it's looking real bad, man. His mugshot leaked online, but I don't think it was real. So that's pretty much everything that's going on right now. Some footage leaked out this week of him allegedly hiring a hit on Tato. Why would he want to be filmed doing that? They were obviously doing that for trolling reasons, and TMZ's putting out there like this was discovered when this had been out there already, But, you know, TMZ's doing what they got to do. And TMZ always gets, like, the super inside info somehow. Man, they just got it all. Anyways, guys, appreciate you guys. This is Jordan Tower, JT News. Hit that thumbs up button. I'll check you guys in the next one. Peace.